Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about the easiest way to save money on car repairs. I'll be going over one specific simple thing that you can do that will allow you to save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in the long run of owning a car and going through car problems. Now this is especially true with an older car. If you have an older car, a car that's maybe more than 10 years old or close to 10 years old that you're experiencing problems with, this is a great thing to do, and that is to diagnose the problem yourself. Now here's the thing, when you bring your car in to a mechanic or to someone that's going to repair the problem, some of the money is going to go towards diagnosing the problem and some of the money is going to go towards fixing the problem, like the parts and the labor, right? Now, if you can manage to diagnose the problem yourself, you're going to be able to actually save quite a bit of money. This is especially true when it comes to those one-off problems, those oddball problems. I'm going to tell you a quick story about my friend named Ian and a problem that he had with his Ford Edge. So I helped him fix this problem. Well, I helped him diagnose the problem. So what happened was, every time he went to go start the car, the battery, it wouldn't start, and we had to boost it. And we're trying to figure out, if we left the car sitting for more than like 25-30 minutes, the car wouldn't start. We're like, what's the problem? I mean, sometimes it would start, but then if you left it for like 2 hours, it wouldn't start. So we're trying to figure out, what is the problem with the car? What's the problem? I did a whole bunch of tests with a multimeter and a battery tester that I had and so forth. Everything looked great with the battery, the starter, the alternator. Everything was fine. The lights weren't dimming or anything like that. We couldn't figure out what was causing the battery to die until we sat in the car after we had turned the engine off. What we heard was the 6 CD changer constantly going through CDs. Every couple of minutes you would hear it go, and it was rotating through the CDs. And we dug a little deeper and we realized later that that CD changer was eating up a lot of the battery even when the car was off. We figured this out by pulling the fuse for the radio and the CD changer. Once we pulled those fuses and the radio and the CD changer didn't work, we figured that the car would start perfectly fine. We diagnosed the problem ourselves, and then what happened was, he brought it to a mechanic to fix the problem. He ended up paying a few $100s to fix the problem, but if that mechanic had to spend the time diagnosing the problem, we spent probably like a solid 3-4 hours. If you work out the price, if you're paying a mechanic $100 an hour or a dealership $100 an hour, which is not that rare, right? If they're diagnosing a problem and it's going to take them, let's say, 5 hours to figure out what that problem is, well then guess what? You're out $500. And you could have probably diagnosed the problem yourself. Now, what do you have to do to diagnose the problem of a car? Well, first and foremost, you have to have the right knowledge. You probably have to have a multimeter, and you have to experiment a bit. You also have to do some research. Go online, look at the forums and the threads regarding that specific car. Look for a problem that you have, and look for similarities. And once you see some similar symptoms, you can narrow it down. Now, I suggest that when you go to the mechanic, you don't just say, well, the CD player is the problem, replace the CD player. I suggest that you tell them that you've done a whole bunch of tests and that you're almost certain that it's the CD player, let's say, and that they just have to look into it a little bit further to make sure, and then they can replace it. You might end up paying them $50 to diagnose the problem just to make sure that that's the case, and then you can pay them to replace the part or fix it, right? But you're saving a lot of money in the sense that you're diagnosing it yourself, and a lot of the time, diagnosing the problem, especially with these oddball one-off problems, is going to take more time than replacing it. So it's going to cost you more money to just figure out what the problem is than it will to actually replace it. I mean, if we had to bring that car in to diagnose the problem, we would probably pay $500 to diagnose the problem and maybe $250 to fix it. So it's as simple as that. The easiest way to save money on car repairs, especially when it comes to these one-off car repairs, these oddball ones, nothing as simple as like, oh, your battery's 10 years old, which it shouldn't be, you got to replace the battery. That's simple. With these more in-depth problems, the easiest way to save money on car repairs is to diagnose it yourself. Nonetheless, even with the smaller, more common problems, you can diagnose it yourself, but those are easier to diagnose. So either way, the easiest way to save money on car repairs is to diagnose the problem yourself, and then you can allow a professional to actually repair it. And that's basically it. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.